That was our mail plane. That's how we get our mail. Good morning. Boy, it has been a while, huh? Anyway, I'm at Pauline Simmons' house right now. I have some friends coming down with Last Frontier Ministries, and I am going to get a fire going for them. I brought my own sled load of wood. I'm gonna get a fire going for them, get it nice and toasty for them when they arrive, and then also do a little bit of vacuuming in here. So I came in here several days ago, and it was an absolute mess as per usual, because the person who comes in here after Sam and his team leaves makes a mess, and they're kind of left to clean it up. So once it gets fairly warm in here and those vacuums get a little bit warmer later today, I'm gonna do some vacuuming, clean up these floors, and see what else needs to be cleaned up in here. So okay, so first thing I want to do is I want to rip up some of this newspaper, make myself some nice small and thin tinder, something that'll catch a flame and, you know, transfer the heat to the kindling. Just kind of like that. It doesn't need to be super tiny, just as long as you have some nice thin paper edges to light with your lighter or your match or your, you know, flint and steel, whatever you got. So go ahead and lay the tinder in there, and then now, since I have that all set up, what I want to do now is I want to make some kindling. And kindling is basically just little sticks of wood that are easier to ignite or to get a fire going. So okay, so I have all my kindling cut, and as you can see here, I have it all kind of set up here in the wood stove. So I'm going for what's called the log cabin method. This is kind of a messy version of it, but basically it's just taking all your kindling and stacking them perpendicular one another, and having your tinder, your paper, whatever you might be using down there in the middle. That way you can just take a lighter to that, just kind of stick that in there, give a little blow. That'll ignite the rest of your tinder, hopefully. And then it'll start burning on your kindling. And then once your kindling is all going nice and hot, then you can start adding some slightly bigger stuff to it, and just progressively go on from there until you have a full-on fire. Alright, all finished up here, got the house locked up. I'm leaving my sled here for now, I'll come back for it later. So the wood that I was using is kind of like half dried, which means it's not all the way green, but at the same time it's not all the way dry either. So hopefully, fingers crossed, the wood will burn long enough. I'm going the wrong way. I need to be going this way. Anyway, so hopefully the wood will burn long enough to get the house nice and warm, so we shall see. Because it's the same wood that we've been burning at my mom's house, and we've been struggling to, you know, keep the house nice and hot using the wood stove. But on the bright side, today is fairly warm. It's above zero for sure, which is amazing, fantastic. Also, we've been gaining a crap ton of daylight, so that is also super epic. There's a squirrel over there. Also, my mom asked me to go pick up her car from my sister's place. Didn't give me a reason. She actually herself didn't tell me. My stepdad told me that she told him to tell me. So I'm gonna go pick it up. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it, but orders are orders. This is our well house / power plant. I think I showed it in a previous video. but it's where our water gets treated and it's where our electricity comes from. Those engines you're hearing, those are big diesel generators that produce the village's electricity. So okay, so I guess my mom wanted me to pick it up since my sister isn't using it to go to work this morning, so she just wants to use it so she can go to lunch and whatnot, I guess. Okay, so I just came down to the church because I was gonna practice my piano. I keep it here. I was gonna practice my piano for the church services coming this week. But my mom just called me asking me to pick her up, so I'm gonna head over there instead. Also, I will need to come back here later. Whenever I come to practice my keyboard, I'm gonna need to shovel out the ramp and the stairway and whatnot. So I'm gonna get all that shoveled out. That way my friends, Sam and those guys, don't get yelled at by someone here in our church. Not really our church, but here in our community, because they didn't shovel it, because they were thinking of themselves. It's upsetting. Okay, that's enough of that. I gotta go pick up my mom. I'm back here at Pauline's house now, just checking on the fire, and it's pretty warm in here. It's I don't know if you can see that, but it's about 50 degrees in here, which is a solid 30 degrees warmer than what it was in here this morning. Just finished up vacuuming up these floors. They're nice and clean now. Delicious. Except for these spots and stuff, those are just snow from my feet. I'm gonna take the dirty dishes that were here earlier, and I'm gonna take them up to my mom's and get those washed for them. So that way when they get here, they can just worry about unloading, turning on the propane, and then they can just hang out and do whatever they want to do. They don't have to worry about cleaning up. I didn't have to do any of this. I could have just came down, got a fire going, and then left it at that. But I couldn't allow myself to do that. So I had to clean up the floors and whatnot because they're my friends and I care about them, and you know, I want them to come in and see positivity only. Because I'm sure if they came in and they saw a filthy house, they'd be like, oh, that's unfortunate. But that won't be the case because I cleaned up. I didn't have to, but I wanted to. I'm not trying to boast about myself or anything. I'm just saying that I'm a really awesome friend. This is our dumpster. I showed it in a recent video. Oh, my goodness. I made a video before about how we deal with our trash in the village. And this was one of my talking points. So, that's nice. Hi. So I'm at the church now. I'm gonna shovel the ramp and the steps so Sam or anybody really doesn't get yelled at by someone who seemingly doesn't really care about the church or the people. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna get to shoveling. Goodness, the church needs to invest in an actual snow shovel. My poor shoe. It's falling apart.